at the point now, y'all, where I don't even know if I should deliver this news to you. And I say that because how many times have we been on this roller coaster where Trump comes out, we got a deal, we're negotiating with Iran, we got a deal, it's going to happen any minute now, it's the best deal anybody's ever seen. And then, like 7 minutes later, oh, yeah, by the way, there's no deal. Not only is there no deal, they're not even talking to Iran. Like, nobody's even engaging with them. So Trump goes out there, verbal diarrhea, just shits out some nonsense. Headlines everywhere in U.S. media. People eat that shit up. They report it as if it's factual. 12 seconds later, the Iranians are like, no, there's no deal. We don't want to make a deal with you. You're fucking terrorists, and, we can't trust you. Right? Well, guess what? Here we go again. Hop on that roller coaster. New York Times said, this is on May 24th. Breaking news, the U.S. and Iran have agreed in principle to a deal that would reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a U.S. official said. Interesting. Now, when they say a U.S. official said, your immediate thought should be, who's the U.S. official, right? Who are we talking about? We're talking about a Trump regime insider, the people who are shattering world records in terms of lying. Okay, instantly. Ready? Breaking. Iran rejects the new New York Times U.S. official's claim that Iran agreed to hand over its highly enriched uranium and suspend enrichment above 3.6% for 10 years as part of Trump's announced largely negotiated agreement, calling these reports completely false and confirms talks are focused only on ending the war with no nuclear details being discussed, per an informed Iranian source to Tasnim. Iran's Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei has additionally issued a directive last week that uranium must not leave the country under any circumstances or deal. Does that sound like we're close to a deal? When now the government is saying, we're not giving up any fucking nuke. Are you kidding? Are you out of your mind? So we were illegally and offensively attacked by by Israel and the U.S., the axis of Epstein. And now you want us to give up our nuclear material after you've proven that you will offensively attack us? Why would we do that? What do we have, a death wish? What are you, insane? Like, nobody in their right mind would do that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Shalom, call halal, Yahweh Bashemil, Shabbat, Shemakakodash, the lauders to the other apostles and the bishops of great millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the Holy Tabernacle of David, the elder Yashawan. Shalom and salutations to you all. And this is the World War III Daily Update. And Iran is laughing at Trump because Trump is a whole clown. As you heard Kyle here describe that they're making negotiations with themselves and Iran is not even at the table, right? The deal instantly forward. How does it fall apart if it's not even made? It's not even on the table. Trump says Iran cannot have a nuclear bomb, and then Iran says, we're not giving up our yellow cake. That's a standoff right there. Nobody wins. All right, so never what these phony phony deal agreements. Oh well, we're having talks, right? You're not having any talks. Right, you're making that whole thing up. So, and then trying to get them people to the table. What did we learn watching this devil operate? Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay. 16. Second Ezra 16 and 16. So, not second Ezra, this is Sirach. Sirach 16 and 16. Salakia. Sirach 12 and 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if you find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. He's lying. He's scheming. All right? And we know all about it. We know all about this devil's scheme. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, schemes. In order that Satan, talking about Esau, the spirit, physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, in order that Satan should not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes. So let's hear a little more on this scheming devil who's getting his ass kicked over.
So understand, this deal actually was on the table prior to the illegal war. It was allegedly hours before Israel and the U.S. attacked Iran. Iran agreed to Oman, the mediator. Fine, zero enriched uranium, you got it. Then they were attacked. So that deal was on the table. The U.S. didn't take it when it was on the table because we wanted that war. Israel wants Iran to be a totally failed state so they can dominate the region. And the U.S. wants Iran to have a puppet leader that allows us to steal their natural resources. That's the goal. This has nothing to do with nuclear material. But now the Trump regime is trying to save face, so they go, oh yeah, we're on the brink of a deal, and they're going to give up their nuclear stuff. And now, if anything, Iran is correctly hardened in their position where they're like, there's no chance we're doing that, not even a little bit. So they screwed the pooch, to say the least. All right, more. Midas Touch says, following massive backlash over the leaked terms of Trump's Iran negotiations, Trump is now claiming he told his team not to rush a deal because, quote, time is on our side, while once again attacking Obama, who actually managed to secure an Iran deal without starting a war or shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. So Trump cannot help himself. He keeps attacking Obama. Why? Because Obama achieved what he never could. Obama actually got a good deal, actually made it so Iran wouldn't get a nuke, and made it so that all we had to do was lift sanctions against them and give them back their own money that we stole, something Trump has.
And Trump threw it all away.
About every step of the way, acting like U.S. tax dollars are being sent to Iran by Obama. Total fucking lie. But can't help himself, goes after Obama. This is Trump going out there and basically trying to clean up after Iran smacks him across the face and says, we're not fucking agreeing to your terms, you idiot. So here's the thing. Here's the position Trump is in. Either hold this big, fat, juicy L, or go back to doing your endless war, which you'll never fucking win, which will blow through our munitions and humiliate us and embarrass us further.
Joel 3 and 10. Iran wants to fight because they have drones. Iran also has nuclear weapons, if you don't understand that. Those earthquakes over in the city of, the capital of Tehran are indications that they're testing the nukes that they made with that nuclear material that's being so highly debated about. What was I getting there? Joel. Joel 3 and 10. Beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. Talk about the missiles, Shahad, and these drones, Iran super drones that don't cost nothing. Let the weak say I am strong. Hey, can't come into this region. You got to leave. Get out of here. All right? That's what we're watching here. And it's all prophecy taking place.
What do you want to carpet bomb some more schools and hospitals and bridges and pretend like you're the good guy as the world continues to abandon us?
That's witchcraft. Okay. Oh, we're the victims. We're the victims as we conduct a genocide. Well, stand now with your enchantments and your sorcery, many sorceries that you've labored at since you were a child. Right? Maybe you can scare someone, make someone afraid of you.
Faster and faster because they see the monsters that we are and how untrustworthy we are. Those are your options. Go ahead, drop a Moab, use chemical weapons, use biological weapons, use nuclear weapons, do some insane shit that immediately destroys the U.S. in the eyes of the world permanently. Either do that or hold this big, fat, juicy fucking L, you bitch. Those are the only options. Because Iran is now strategically in a position where, why would they give up control of the Strait of Hormuz? There's no reason to.
Because we're the strong. We were the weak, and right now we're saying we're strong. We got you, bitch.
There's no reason to. You guys attacked us, so now we're going to charge fees or taxes for everybody to use the trade. We'll open it up, but you got to pay a tax. You got to pay a fee. They're going to keep controlling that, right? And they're going to get what they want. Like, if they say, hey, we need you to close some of your bases around us, the U.S. has to do it, or they'll just keep the Strait of Hormuz shut. They have us by the balls. They have...
Joel 3 and 10. Beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. I'm going to close it.
The global economy by the balls. What part of this don't you get? And so Trump is now in this weird position where he wants to agree because he wants this to end because he knows the Strait of Hormuz being shut is fucking killing him. But he can't really agree because it's nothing but a big fat juicy L that it's hard for him to spin. So what he's trying to do is say, oh, we got a deal and I'm getting the deal on my terms, which immediately leads to Iran going, bitch, this is not on your terms. We're not giving up anything nuclear. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. So he's in this untenable, unwinnable position. The other thing is, as we'll talk about in a second, the impact of the Israelis. Remember, they were some of the people who started this thing. Trump's a fucking idiot. Didn't take much convincing, and he's a warmonger. Didn't take much convincing, but it was Netanyahu who reportedly was like, we're going to do this. And Trump was like, okay, great. And so what are the Israelis going to say? If you cuck yourself now, fold now, give the Iranians their W, and try to spin it as a victory, the Israelis throw you right under the fucking bus. And by the way, if Trump were to do that, woo, be prepared, baby, because we're going to get some more very specific stories coming out of those Epstein files. Okay, as you all know, Jeffrey Epstein worked for Mossad. He worked for various intelligence agencies across the globe. He was running a honeypot operation, a blackmail operation. He has blackmail on Trump. And so if Trump were to actually end this war and try to spin it as a victory, you would immediately see some fucking dirt that comes out. The Katie Johnson story being verified about Trump graping a 13-year-old, some other stuff we don't even know the specifics of that comes out because the Israelis, basically, they're like, we'll do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way is we pay you, millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars from the Israel lobby, and you do our bidding because we own you, right? That's the easy way. The hard way is, oh, are you bucking us and not agreeing to what we say? Well, we could also do this the hard way, and I'll release all the blackmail we have on you, the Mossad blackmail that we have on you. So Trump is in a wee bit of a pickle now, isn't he? Then we get this. Brutal statement from Iran's state-aligned Fars News. Quote, it should be noted that American officials have acknowledged in multiple messages to Iran that Trump's tweets are primarily for promotional purposes and media consumption within the U.S., and they have recommended that no attention be paid to these statements. In words, actual negotiators, actual serious people are trying to work around the president of the United States, routinely shoving his own foot in his fucking mouth and ruining everything. And Iran is saying, hey, bro, just so you know, the U.S. government themselves, people in the U.S. government who have high positions of power and authority, they are telling us, please, for the love of God, ignore whatever Trump says. Please. Because we know he's crazy. We know he's psycho. We know he contradicts himself. We know he flip-flops like nobody's business. Like, we know he's mentally unwell.
And we know he's a bitch. They became as bitches. The mighty men of Babylon. The mighty men of Babylon. Starting with the commander-in-chief, Donald J. Punk. Jeremiah 51 and 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Let's get this in the NLT. Her mightiest warriors no longer fight. They stay in their barracks. Their courage gone. They have become like women. The invaders have burned the houses and broken down the city gates. Okay, so they ain't trying to squab out here. Right? They just talking a tough fight.
Just act like he doesn't exist and let's just do this ourselves. This is fucking, and this is Iran blowing the whistle on. This is a fucking colossal viral humiliation.
Pay no attention to the man behind it. To the paper tagger behind that curtain.
He should be talking about this story. The fact that the words of the President of the United States have to be disregarded in order for us to get any semblance of a reasonable outcome. How insane is that?
When they went to China and spoke with Xi, they said Trump was off to the side while everybody else was conducting business.
It reminds me of the story of Trump's dad who had Alzheimer's, who they made it so he wanted to continue running his businesses. Everybody knew he couldn't run it anymore. He was losing his fucking mind. So they gave him like an office and a desk and fake work and let him think he was running his businesses as others actually ran the businesses. We're basically at that point now with Trump running the country. How insane is that? Oh my word. Oh my word. This is one of the worst situations we've ever been in. Well, guess what? I hope everybody's.
And that's Edomites from the top down. Trump is a representation of Esau coming to his end. All right.
Usurping him, in a sense. I hope, like, if there was a fucking deep state, holy shit, we wouldn't be in this pile of shit that we've been in for quite a while now, because they would have been at least the adult in the room to one extent or another and reined in his psychotic ass. But there probably isn't a fucking deep state. This is some people tepidly trying desperately to keep the train on the tracks and failing because Trump continues to fuck everything up. Then Trump posts this. Trump demands Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, Pakistan sign the Abraham Accords as a condition of the Iran deal. President Trump posted on Truth Social Monday, demanding that all countries involved in Iran negotiations simultaneously sign the Abraham Accords, describing it as a prerequisite for any deal, and warning those who refuse would be excluded from the agreement. Quote, it should be mandatory that all of these countries, at a minimum, simultaneously sign on to the Abraham Accords, Trump wrote, naming Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, and Bahrain as targets. The UAE and Bahrain are already members. Trump warned, if they don't, they should not be part of this deal, that it shows bad intention. He said, quote, should start with the immediate signing by Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and everyone else should follow suit. He also dangled Iran's own potential membership, writing, quote, if Iran signs its agreement with me, it would be an honor to have them also be part of this unparalleled world coalition. So Dropside says here, the Abraham Accords, brokered during Trump's first term, normalized relations between Israel and the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, and Kazakhstan. Trump's demand would require the mediating countries to recognize Israel and normalize relations as a condition of ending the Iran war, a significant ask given that Saudi Arabia has publicly conditioned any normalization on a credible, irreversible path to Palestinian statehood, a position shared in various forms by Turkey, Egypt, and others on the list. The demand comes as the U.S. has allowed Israel to continue the daily killing of Palestinians in Gaza for more than 7 months since the October 2025 Trump brokered fake ceasefire, with over 900 Palestinians killed since the agreement was approved by Israel. The U.S. and Israel are also deliberately blocking minimum levels of food, medicine, shelter, fuel, and reconstruction aid. President Trump has also removed sanctions on the most violent Israeli settlers in the occupied West Bank, where rampant state-backed settler violence to uproot Palestinian families has gone unchecked since the start of his second term. Trump closed his social media post with a warning, quote, it will only be a great deal for all or no deal at all. Back to the battlefront and shooting, but bigger and stronger than ever before. This man is completely and utterly out of his mind. As Iran is being illegally and offensively attacked by Israel, as Israel is routinely doing a genocide in South Lebanon, as they're continuing the genocide in Gaza, as they're attacking their neighbors nonstop, all the time, relentlessly, as they brag about it, as they take over the entire West Bank, as they do pogroms. All that's going on. Trump is like, as part of our deal, you need to make permanent peace with Israel.
Permanent what? I have to get this. And then I'll close. I promise. It's locked. As soon as they say, let's come together, let's get this peace deal going, then they turn around and strike when they're on Ramadan. 1 Thessalonians 5:3 in the NIV. While people are saying peace and safety, destruction will come on them suddenly, as labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. Trying to close it down. Let's see.
Well, okay, how about they stop bombing us? How about that? That's going to be
During the peace deal. During peace and safety, oh, here comes the sudden destruction.
fucking response. Whoever's responsible behind the scenes was like, hey, you guys got to disregard everything he says, bro. Every single thing he says. Don't look at the posts of the President of the United States. Don't even look at them. This is what they have to say to Iran in order to get any hope, any semblance of any kind of deal, bro. All right, look at this.
All right, I'm going to end it there. But I am going to read this. 2 Ezra 9 and 3 in the GNT, there will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues, unstable leaders, there's DJT, and confused rulers. You see these things happening, you will know they are what the Most High Power has spoken about since the beginning of creation. So with that, we'll go ahead and close it. Go watch the rest of this. The Secular Talk with Kyle Kulinski. But as you can see, World War III is not stopping. It's escalating, out of control. Trump can't do a damn thing. Trump is on. He's running. He's fleeing. Right. The Syrians are being troubled, bled, and are fleeing as we speak. All they got left is nukes. So we'll keep our eye on things. With that, we pray that the elector edifies your brothers.